AskReddit by deleted. What's a fact that was taught in school that's been disproven in your lifetime? That while being on your period you'll only lose 1 spoon of blood. That's such a BS. Also, that the average pad can absorb 5 milliliters of blood. I've always thought that was bullshit, and then I learned that scientists tested pad absolution using water until this year. Strangers will give me free drugs on street corners and in Halloween candy. And what do we say when a stranger offers us free drugs? That's right, children, we say thank you. Because drugs are expensive. I learned tongue taste maps at school. Turns out it's complete nonsense. I have a feeling science knew it was nonsense for years while schools kept pushing it for some reason. All fat was bad for you, thus fat-free foods became a thing for a while. Fat-free and tiny huge amount of sugar. Now it's reversed, keto high fat, no low sugar. Haha. In pharmacy school around the turn of the century we were taught that people in legitimate pain don't get addicted to opiates and opioids. Probably taught by the Sacklers marketing team. That George Washington's teeth were made of wood. No. It's so much worse. The wild part is that they specifically went out of their way to teach us about George Washington's wood teeth, like if you could name 5 facts about him, that would be 1. My primary school teacher told me our bodies can't make new blood and we're born with all the blood we'll ever have. As someone who got nosebleeds, I knew it was bollocks. When I questioned that adults are obviously bigger so have more blood, she said it's watered down. These people teach kids. I'd have died in childhood with the epic nosebleeds I got. I once asked one of my elementary school teachers what a rainbow was, and she told me scientists hadn't figured it out. I walked around until my early 20s thinking that. Also, I think it was this same teacher who told me Columbus thought the earth was flat. They were training teachers a different kind of way in the 70s and 80s. It's honestly one of the reasons I'm thankful for the internet, because depending on your teacher or an outdated encyclopedia for answers could be a real roll of the dice. I remember being told that only Columbus thought the earth was round and literally everyone else in Europe thought it was flat. And that's why he couldn't get funding at first to explore, because everyone thought he was going to fall off the side of the earth. Turns out, that's so wrong it's not even funny. The food pyramid. Give us this day, our daily 17 pieces of bread. Not my lifetime, but my mom's sister was initially forced to write with her right hand, despite being left-handed. Since they went to Catholic school, it was taught, as fact, that being left-handed was something devil. When my aunt started grade 1, my great-grandfather died a couple weeks into the school year and bequeathed some money to the church and school. The family would not give it to them unless my aunt was allowed to be left-handed. Amazingly enough, the priest, upon prayer and reflection, determined that being left-handed wasn't a problem anymore. Isn't that something? That's how my now 78-year-old aunt changed science at Blessed Sacrament when she was 5 years old. My grandmother was whacked on the hand if she tried to write with her left hand. They just said it was wrong. Then she just used her left hand when they weren't looking. No one is going to wait for you to look up information in the real world. You have to know it. Has to be the most insane thing I ever heard. That never made sense to me even before everyone had the internet in their pocket. In one of my HS English classes we were constantly writing essays without being allowed to consult the books we'd been assigned. This was to prepare us for the final state exam, in which we'd be given an essay prompt, which was to remain a mystery until they actually handed us the exam, and would not be allowed any outside material to bring with us. I always wondered, do they expect us to memorize every detail of every book we've ever read in order to write one essay for this one dumbass exam? Once you get to high school, nobody will accept papers not written in cursive. My god, elementary teachers think high school is like signing up for basic military training, I swear. My grade 8 teacher told me that high school wouldn't let me use pencils, use the bathroom during class, fail me if I'm a minute late for class, not let me talk to my friends in the halls, etc. It's like they watched a Hollywood high school movie and thought it was real. That lemmings commit suicide. They don't if they are carefully managed by giving individuals jobs like building stairs or digging a hole straight down. The food pyramid. Completely different now than what I was taught was healthy. My country health ministry even ditched the concept entirely, and is pushing a balanced, diverse, and colorful diet as the central concept. Way better and respect the traditional food. The whole meteorite killed the dinosaurs thing wasn't yet the accepted theory when I was a kid. I sang that in my head like video killed the radio star. Meteorite killed the dinosaurs. Your permanent record will follow you into adulthood. Only time I found that record was used was for college admittance. A really smart person had a bunch of red flags in his profile. He would talk back endlessly. Have rejection letters stating his records were not clear enough to even apply there. He turned out fine. I think he's a lawyer in a big city. Deleted. Mine definitely did something. It tried to kill me. There's never been a war fought on Australian soil. 1990s 3rd grade teacher proclaimed it proudly. Indigenous Australians would beg to differ. And the emus. If you don't do well you'll end up being a garbage man. Fuck you. Garbage men are awesome and make more than teachers. Also, less likely to get shot on the job. This is true of so many professions that we were taught were lesser than or just looked down upon. Being a plumber was always a joke. Wish I older took the 70k union job with excellent benefits and a pension joke at 20 years old lol. You only use 10% of your brain each day. Yeah, but that's fine. You don't want to turn into a USB stick, do you? If you work hard for a company and show your loyalty to them, they will be loyal to you. In the 50s and part of the 60s. Especially when unions were stronger. Now we are absolutely disposable no matter how vital and secure you believe you are to the company. You won't always have a calculator on you. And you have much more than that now. You basically have an answer to any question on any test you've ever taken. Unlike my father and grandfather, I won't work at the same place for my entire life. I will switch jobs up to 3 times in my career. I'm on 6 looking for a 7th. I was told by a business professor that I should be changing jobs every 6 months until I hit my 40s. I've worked at the same place since I was 21 and I'm 38 now. Change is scary. When I was a child it was believed that illness was caused by demonic possession, whereas now we know it's caused by an imbalance of humors in the body. That our elected representatives fight for the best interests of their constituents. Politicians are owned by corporations. They don't give two shits about us. That I'd fail in life because I was not good at math. I always had a hard time with math and physics and chemistry. Turns out I am just not good with numbers, but succeeded with languages. I have a natural talent for languages. I am a translator and conference interpreter. I work with 5 languages. My math teacher told my mom I'd never amount to anything if I didn't master math. I was there and her words scarred me for life. I have been terrified of failure ever since. Are you sure it's 5 languages? You said yourself you're not good at math. The United States government prevents abuse of power through a well-engineered system of checks and balances. This one made me laugh out loud. They really did try and make us believe that. Hilarious. The system time will take care of putting bad guys where they belong. At the top. Carrots are good for night vision. This was a lie the British used to explain how they could spot German bombers during WWII. The truth, that they had broken the German Enigma machine and were decoding secret messages, was kept a secret for decades. The full story was not told until the 1990s. I consider the Enigma cover-up to be the best kept secret in human history. Also, the Brits has better quality radar and we're trying to keep that fact a secret. That Canada didn't ever have slaves. Guess what? https://www.historiamuseum.ca/virtual-museum-of-france/population/slavery/close bracket. What's worse is, to my knowledge, they still don't teach this. I had to look it up myself. When I was a kid, mid-2000s, we were taught that Canada did have slaves, but instead of mass plantations like in the States, most slaves here were servants in homes. I was never taught about Aboriginal slaves like in that article, only Africans. Am I still supposed to eat 8 fruits per day? I only have room for 3 at most. Condoms are completely useless, using a basketball going through a hoop as an example, somehow. Also, birth control is a placebo. And anybody can spread deadly STDs, even if they don't have them yet. On science, we were taught that humans were cold-blooded. This was proven by having us hold our hands in ice water for 5 minutes, then having us try to close our hands quickly and write. Hooray for semi-rural Wisconsin. WTF. That we would all but run out of oil by the year 2000. The spice must flow. Nobody is above the law. No poor person is above the law. FTFY. I was taught in 5th grade that it's impossible for veins to break under your skin. Bitch, that's a bruise. It's the personal responsibility of consumers, not industry, to ensure all plastics are recycled. Until you found out that despite your personal responsibility, they still took your plastic and dumped it into the ocean or shipped it overseas because recycling plastic is harder than realized, so we just didn't do it. I had my suspicions as I got older, but when that report dropped, I was so angry. If you study well and have excellent grades, you will end up with a nice job and lots of money. I can only speak for me and my buddy in Germany. I have a real skill abschluss, equal to high school diploma in the US. My buddy has a better, higher degree than HS diploma but lower than a BA. We both had the exact same job, the same position, and both started at the same day. Because of his higher educational degree he get paid more than me. Reason: unionized wages with different ranks depending on your education. So yeah, he was 2 years longer in school than me, and earned close to 1k more pre-tax month. Multiple teachers over the years told me the Nova didn't sell well in Hispanic countries because the manufacturer marketing execs didn't realize Nova means no go story. It's a total urban legend. But this was back before anybody we knew had the internet, so people just blindly believed whatever they were told back then, including teachers. Not that people have stopped blindly believing things now, but at least you can Google stuff if it sounds made up now. Although the Toyota MR2 was renamed in France, to avoid being called the Toyota shit. That only I can prevent forest fires. Looking at California, you really fucked up on that. Dom stood 666. We counted on you. Not school exactly, but in grade 4 we had the DARE program come talk to my class and they said a lot of stuff that's not true. I remember them saying weed has more chemicals in it than cigarettes, and caused cancer faster than cigarettes. Anything that goes in your lungs that not oxygen can cause cancer, but I don't think it causes cancer faster. Edit guys, I get it. I wasn't correct when saying anything that goes in your lungs that not oxygen can cause cancer statement. Edit 2, I also understand now weed is worse to smoked in the same quantity as people who smoke cigarettes. It makes sense. I get it lol. I'm still waiting for someone to offer me free drugs. That moss always grows on the north side of trees. Edit, should have added, this so-called fact would help you if you had gotten lost hiking, as north would point to civilization or some shit. It doesn't exclamation point. Damn, I would have totally relied on that knowledge if I got lost in the woods. Doing tons of homework every night to make me a better pupil. It takes 7 years to digest gum. I before E except after C. In spelling. Actually it was never true, but weird, they taught a rule that was true like 30% of the time or something like that. Haha. Stop it with your weird lies. Your deceit causes me great stress. I can feel the pounding in my veins. My foreign neighbor with the beige Corolla will have to find the body after my heart seizes up due to my weight. Now to go cook 8 slices of bacon for breakfast. Blood is blue until exposed to oxygen, then it turns red. Meritocracy and appearance doesn't matter. A little bit before my time and most teachers already knew it was wrong, but it was still in my 3rd and 4th grade science books since they were dated to when it was still in vogue in the 70s, even though we were told to mostly ignore it. But global cooling https://en.wikipedia.org/wiki/global_cooling. I imagined massive ice ages by the time I was an adult, since I ignored my teachers and read the passages anyway. I was disappointed to find out how wrong it was. Heh. Hiding under your desk at school at 10 AM on the last Friday of the month while the teacher placed a name tag on your wrist would protect you from an atomic blast. Hiding can protect you from an atomic blast though, in different ways at different distances from the explosion, and depending on what you manage to hide beneath. Whether that's protecting you from heat, debris and so on. Nobody said it had to be 100% protection. That you will need a college education to get any decent paying job in life. No joke, that shit was taught to my generation and it's a load of bullshit. What you actually need is money. You can then do stuff with the money which will assure you a decent income. Examples include but are not limited to getting a college education. Also, starting a business, investing, etc. The only drug that an addict can die from withdrawal to is heroin. Alcohol withdrawal kills a lot of people. Famous ones even. The only 2 drugs that kill you from withdrawal are benzos and alcohol. Crazy, neither of those are heroin.